Escalation started when the terrorists killed 26 innocent tourists in Pahalgam. And this in an unprecedented move. These terrorists killed based on their religion. They asked their religion first before killing them. And 26 innocent lives were lost. And that is when our Prime Minister decided that we need to teach them a lesson. And then we conducted this Operation Sindoor. And the aim of this, objective of this Operation Sindoor was to attack terrorist infrastructure, as well as the supporters of those terrorists. And on May, this incident in Pahalgam happened on 22nd of April. And on 7th of May, we launched this Operation Sindoor. And the two main groups which are involved in cross-border terrorism from Pakistan are Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammad. And they have been creating problem over the past 2-3 decades to us. It is not for the first time that they have attacked in the sense cross-border terrorism, and all these groups are involved. Even in the past, over the past 2 decades, they are involved in a number of terrorist attacks in India. And we launched this operation early morning on May 7th. Our forces attacked terrorist launching pads in and around 𝐓𝒏𝒂𝒏, headquarters of Lashkar-e-Taiba in Muridke, as well as headquarters of Jaish-e-Mohammad in Bahawalpur. And all those terrorist infrastructures were destroyed. 100 terrorists got killed. And then after this first phase of attacks, Pakistan forces, they started attacking our military installations. And when they attacked our military bases, military camps on the Indian side, then our forces decided to attack and teach them a lesson. And then on May 10th, early morning, our forces attacked their army bases, radar system, aircrafts, and they attacked Nurkhan base, which is the headquarters of their army. We attacked Sargodha, and we attacked many other air bases. And that's how they got panicky. Their Director General of Military Operations called our Director General of Military Operations, and that's how they asked to de-escalate. And we entered into a ceasefire in the evening of 10th of May. So
the ceasefire is holding. As far as India is concerned, is that the end of the matter for now? Is that the end of this round of escalation?
No, the ceasefire is still holding on, but we have made it very clear that this Operation Sindoor, it's paused. It's not yet over. So our fight against terrorism will continue. We have set a new normal. And the new normal is that we will follow an offensive strategy. Wherever terrorists are, we have to kill those terrorists, and we have to destroy their terrorist infrastructure. So that's still not over, but yes, at present, while we are speaking, ceasefire is intact.
All right, let's touch on the level of defence cooperation between India and Israel. How significant a role does Israel play in India's military strategy, and how have we seen that develop during the recent conflict with Pakistan?
We have our indigenous defense program, which is Make in India, and in Make in India, we have been able to have our own defense industry. We use our own defense platforms and equipment, but at the same time, we have extremely good cooperation with many other countries, including Israel, Russia, France, and US. All those platforms and equipment were used, and you should be happy to know that we are using these equipments against terrorists, unlike Pakistan, not to protect terrorists.
Let's talk about some of the steps India has taken then following the terrorist attack, because there was kind of global alarm when India announced it was putting into abeyance the Indus Water Treaty. Now, this is a treaty between India and Pakistan that has held since 1960, despite lots of conflicts and various terrorist attacks and escalations. Have you stopped the water going into Pakistan?
So let me give you a brief background. Indus Water Treaty, IWT, we call it IWT, was signed in 1960. And the preamble of Indus Water Treaty includes two key words, which includes goodwill and friendship. The treaty was signed in the spirit of goodwill and friendship. Over the past so many years, what we have seen, we were allowing water to flow. And what was Pakistan doing? They were allowing terror. They were allowing terror to come from Pakistan to the Indian side. So, there was a lot of frustration among the people that this cannot go ahead like this. Our Prime Minister, after this attack, our Prime Minister said that the blood and water cannot flow together. And that was the reason. That was the reason that we decided to put this IWT in abeyance. Means this is not operational. And we have told to the Pakistan side that they have to stop cross-border terrorism before it becomes again, operational.
Because Pakistan have said they see that as an act of war.
Yeah, but the other side is, if I start recounting the number of terrorist attacks organized by Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammad in India, and let me tell you, in 2001, they attacked Indian Parliament in Delhi. In 2008, Mumbai attack, we lost 166 people, including some from your nationality. Lashkar-e-Taiba was involved. In 2016, Uri base camp, Pulwama attack, and now the Pahalgam attack. Believe me, the root cause is these two groups. Jaish-e-Mohammad, the leader of Jaish-e-Mohammad, Masood Azhar, Lashkar-e-Taiba, leader Hafiz Saeed. All these, Lashkar-e-Taiba was involved in Mumbai attack. They need to do very simple thing. When the preamble includes goodwill and friendship, they just need to hand over these terrorists to us. Recently, last month, US extradited Rana Hussain, who was involved in Mumbai attack. When US can hand over these culprits, why can't Pakistan hand over? They have to simply hand over Hafiz Saeed, Lakhvi, Sajid Mir, and things will be over. Things will be normal.
What is the reason they give in Pakistan for not handing over these terrorists or for not cooperating?
See, this is a old tactics. They just always deflect the pressure. And even in this Pahalgam attack, they said that they are ready to investigate this. They are ready to cooperate with us.
They call for an independent international investigation.
Yes, yes. But we are asking them, what has happened to the Mumbai attack? What has happened to the Pathankot airbase attack? What has happened to the Pulwama airbase attack? Believe me, in Mumbai, we have given them dossiers after dossiers. We have given them technical inputs. America has shared with them evidences. Everything is there, but what they have done? Lakhvi, Zakiur Lakhvi, who was the main planner of Mumbai attack, he's still roaming freely. Hafiz Saeed, the head of Lashkar-e-Taiba, planner, executioner of Mumbai attack, freely. So we can't believe them. Please, I can tell you, we can't believe them actually. And by the way, Indus Water Treaty, IWT is we have put it in abeyance. But there is another IWT which is operational now, which is India's war against terrorism. And this will continue. Okay.
Well, there are a lot of similarities, aren't there, between what India is facing in terms of Islamist terrorist groups and what Israel is facing. Both Israel and India do come under a lot of diplomatic pressure when they seek to defend themselves, as Israel is doing in Gaza and has been doing in Lebanon. How can India and Israel better support each other diplomatically, do you think, against these very well-funded, well-organised campaigns of delegitimization?
I think, on terrorism, not only India and Israel, all those countries who are facing the brunt of terrorism should join together. In India, our Prime Minister has made it very clear that we have zero tolerance. We have zero tolerance on terrorism. We are not going to accept, this cross-border terrorism. We, on our part, we will go and we will hit Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammad. These are the two main groups and their proxies. But at an international level, yes, all those countries, including India, Israel, and many other countries, those who face the brunt, we need to basically, identify. We need to expand our diplomatic reach. We need to cooperate. We need to form a coalition against this terrorism, and most importantly, against the supporters of these terrorist groups.
Is India getting enough support from the United States when it comes to fighting these terrorist groups?
Yes, of course. United States extradited Rana Hussain, who was involved in Mumbai attacks of 2008. He was extradited last month only. He was arrested in 2009. A judicial process was followed in US, and finally he was extradited. He is now in our custody.
Let's move on and talk a bit about the future and the economic cooperation between Israel and India, which is blossoming. Tell me, where do you see the most potential when it comes to growth? Which sectors, which industries, where do you see the most potential for growth?
I think, as you know, India now is the fourth largest economy. We were fifth, now we are fourth. Soon we will be the third largest economy. Let me give you some facts. Every day we are building 28 kilometers of highway every day. 14 kilometers of rail tracks every day, around 8 airports every year, and we are building around 2 metros every year. So that kind of, that's the magnitude of our, of our work which we are doing in India. I think India and Israel, we can cooperate together in a number of sectors. Infrastructure is one. Indian company, as you know, Indian company already invested more than $1.5 billion in Haifa port. Similarly, many Indian companies are interested in Tel Aviv metro station. And infrastructure is one. Another is the agriculture. Your Israeli companies are very advanced in agriculture technology. In India, 60–65% of population still depends on agriculture. That's another field. Water management is another field, I think, and I'm visiting various water management plants in Israel. Quite an impressive technology you have. I think this can be easily explored. Defense cooperation in another area. I think we are doing great in defense cooperation, but we need to further expand. There is a lot of potential in defense cooperation also. And the last is the workforce. You need a lot of workforce, and we can easily provide you skilled professional workforce.
Well, that brings me on to my next question, because we saw thousands of Indian workers come over to Israel following the October 7th attacks, because for obvious reasons Arab workers were no longer travelling to Israel to work. Is that trend set to continue, and what kind of numbers are we talking about? And do Indian workers feel safe here?
Of course. Even during the time of crisis, there was never a security issue for the Indian workers as such. You need workers, and we have workers. We have signed migration and mobility agreement with many countries. We believe in legal migration, and I think Indian construction workers are here. Similarly, caregivers are in great demand, and there are other sectors like agriculture workers, workers in hotel industry. So I think we are in touch with the concerned authorities of Israel, and this is a very promising area we can explore further.
India is a huge country. Israel is a tiny country, but as we have spoken about, the two countries do face a lot of the similar challenges and also the similar potential for economic growth. Just give me a sense of where you see that cooperation over the next few years.
I see a very promising future for India-Israel cooperation. We have strategic partnership between us. There is a need to further expand it. There is a need to further consolidate this partnership. And as I said, infrastructure development. In fact, I missed science and technology. That's another one, Yes, that's another one. Be it in innovation, be it in quantum computing or cybersecurity. That's another area of cooperation. So we need to identify these areas. We need to further expand it, consolidate it, and I think you have Israel ecosystem. You have some strengths. We have our own strengths. We just need to combine them,
All right.
And there's a great future.
Mr. Singh, Your Excellency, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.